So my name is Darrell Fitzgerald. I actually run a real estate lending company. It's called MIRAN Capital, and our focus is simplified real estate lending. So our focus is we actually lend capital to non-owner occupied investors. So people actually looking for funding for properties such as residential as well as commercial properties, we can actually go about and fund those projects for them. It's real estate, so it doesn't matter if it's a single family home, duplex, or if we're looking at somebody that has a mixed use property as well as some type of commercial property, which could be an office building or self-storage. So we fund an array of different projects, but our focus is only on non-owner occupied. So we look at the property, we look at the income, and we try to determine what's going to be the best funding or term project that we send out there to actually fund that specific project. So whether you have a client that's looking for, say, to do some type of fix and flip project, or they're looking for cash out refi on a landlord property that they may own, we'll step in and then provide the funding in that sense. But we also help your larger investors that may say, hey, I have a portfolio of investment properties, or I'm looking to do some type of ground up construction project. We can actually fund those as well. As far as some of the different things that are needed, we only lend to businesses. So typically they'll have an LLC set up, or they'll have some type of corporation that we can actually go ahead and fund. We're not as strenuous as banks when it comes to funding. We kind of keep it as simple as possible, which is our motto: simplify real estate lending. And we raise from a small amount of friends and family from that sense. As we're looking to grow and continue to scale, capital is kind of the focus of one of the things that helps drive our business. So as we go out, we put the fund docs together to actually set up a fund. So that's one route we're looking into as far as raising additional capital. Our industry is a model where you have investors that'll either, let's say as a lender myself, you have investors that may turn around and service a portion of those loans that they do, or you have others that may get into the industry and then certainly step out and they may decide to sell off those loans, whether they be in single or sell them off in batches. So one of the things that we focus on is we want to make sure that those different investors or different clients that we're coming in contact, we want to service a portion of those deals that come across so that we can manage the relationship from start to finish. Set the fund yet, we actually started the process for it, but one thing is we had enough capital actually now to kind of fund the different deals and opportunities that came across. As far as the fund side, we didn't complete the docs yet, but we know that typically we're going to need somewhere in the range of like 15 to 20 million is kind of going to be like that soft spot for us. What's going to help us kind of scale up. Investors on both the short-term and the long-term side. You have investors that can look at funds that are going to be, or look at returns that are going to be anywhere from like a 6 to 8% returns. You have some that can get a little more aggressive and then kind of go on that 9+%. One of the things for us which make it really good is we kind of try to find that medium balance where investors can get in and get some type of stabilized return, but also have that opportunity for growth. Give you this kind of thing a lot of people actually miss out on. So before pretty much the pandemic took place, right, you had a lot of investors that were focusing on fix and flip opportunities. As that changed up, the market and the consumer, which was the homeowner at the time, started becoming more aware that they could actually sell their own properties and generate the same funds, which made it a little more difficult for your typical investor to get in, find a spread to sell the properties. So as that fix and flip space started to slow down, started going through this thing called the mortgage boom, which over the last year, it became extremely hard for a lot of people to find capital. So they started doing so through cash out refinances. They're looking to figure out how they can actually lower their current interest rate. So for us, that client base has switched from our typical investor fix and flip client to now more investors that are looking to do some type of long-term hold and start to build up a portfolio and establish themselves a little more. 21, of course, is to continue to scale our company, but most importantly to educate people on the financial. People actually don't even know that the funding is readily available for the projects they're looking to get involved with. So the more we can actually get out, educate the clients, we'll be able to raise the funds that are needed for us on that end to continue to fund those projects that are in need of funding. But the alternative side, I want to tell everybody to continue to educate and learn as much as you can, because the more you see what happens with the financing side, the more it'll actually tell you where the market and where the industry is. Great experience here, beautiful opportunity to actually sit and connect with Fintech. So I'm looking forward to more opportunities to come in 2021, and hopefully we can continue to have a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.